people are expected to kind of like, okay, I guess.
Track.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
track and keep track of, especially like in the sales world, right? I know that one of the main issues that sales professionals have are KPIs specifically, right? They talk about or tracking anything, right? It's like, well, I mean, listen, like I'm doing my own stuff, and you should care about the revenue side, like how much money I'm bringing in. I'm bringing a lot of money. Like, get off my back already. Like,
Hmm.
why you want me to fill out Salesforce? This is like the most common like
Yeah.
sales joke. I don't want to
Yeah.
fill out
So,
anything on Salesforce. Stop talking about Salesforce. Talk about my numbers last quarter because those were amazing. And can't we just
mhm.
stick to that? Has that also been kind of a trend? And if I guess it's like, is that a good argument? I'm bringing a lot of money,
Yeah.
right? So what are you worried about KPIs for?
Yeah, exactly. I think that, whatever the equivalent, for cavemen of Salesforce, that the beginning of time, the cave
Yeah,
salespeople were
exactly.
like, don't make me write it down. Yeah, so it's common, very common thing. Again, we talk a little bit that sales is a science, and so the numbers, again, make sure you're measuring the right things that really matter. But if I know as a salesperson that for every 50 calls I make, that I get 10 appointments, and for every 10 appointments I get like five potentials and two closes, it becomes really scientific. You can start to see those numbers and go, oh, I can see how that plays out. And if we can help you by, maybe we get you an assistant salesperson so you can get 200 calls in. So now you can do, in theory, twice as many closes at the end of, like if the equation works out. That's when we talk about sales as a science. Really, it's not so much about creating extra work, but understanding what is the process and what are our ratios, like what are our close percentages, how many closes do we get out of these proposals that we do. It allows you to really strategically think about, oh, if I can improve that by 5%, this is how much more I could be potentially selling. How could I improve that by 5%? How could I be doing, oh, it looks like we're not doing follow-ups. If we are better about our follow-ups, could we include those ratios? It can be, I always try to find, again, keep it simple. We don't want to spend more time tracking than what it actually, the data that we're getting. But if you can get that data, it can be extremely valuable for, both. You got what's in it for me, right? We get what's in it for the business owner, but also what's in it for that salesperson. It's a win-win. If they can improve their sales, they potentially be making more.
Yeah, no, for
That's
sure. And I
kind of a
well,
long answer there, but
no, I mean it's great,
yeah.
because really as well as we talked about the changing and kind of generations and everything, and also something that's changed is the tech. It's been the tech, right, and the systems, right. I mean, once I'm sure 15 years ago, the way you keep track of the data or the way that you follow up is different from today, right. I mean, how have
Yes.
like those systems improved today? Maybe on like automating that follow up, right? Not something that
Hmm.
necessarily a person has to go and do automatically, and things are falling through the cracks. Excuse
Yeah.
me. Different ways that that sales process has gotten easier over the last 15 years that you've seen with different systems or ways that you've helped business owners implement new systems.
That's a great question. It's such an opportunity, and it can be a curse too.